Everyone thinks a plane crash is a sudden, violent event. They're wrong. Sometimes disaster begins with something far more insidious, a silent, almost imperceptible flaw deep within the aircraft's very structure. A single electrical arc, a tiny spark, can set in motion an irreversible chain of events. This is the story of Swissair Flight 111, a modern MD-11 jet carrying 229 souls across the Atlantic on September 2, 1998. It was a routine flight from New York to Geneva until an unseen enemy began its quiet work. At 10:10 p.m. Atlantic time, the flight crew, Captain Urs Zimmermann and First Officer Stefan Lowe, detected an unusual odor, a faint, almost sweet scent suggesting something was burning. It was the first subtle warning. Initially, they suspected the air conditioning system, a common enough issue, but the smell persisted, growing stronger, hinting at something more serious unfolding just beyond their reach. A few minutes later, the flight attendants reported smoke in the cabin originating from the front galley. This confirmed their fears. There was a fire on board, a fire, the most dreaded word in aviation. The crew declared an emergency, requesting immediate diversion to Halifax, Nova Scotia. They were just 56 nautical miles away, a short distance, but time was rapidly running out. The MD-11 was equipped with an advanced in-flight entertainment system. Years later, investigators would trace the disaster's origin to this very system, specifically its wiring. The entertainment system had been installed using a new type of metallized mylar insulation on the wiring. While lightweight and efficient, it proved to be dangerously flammable. A tiny electrical arc, likely due to chafing or a manufacturing defect, ignited this mylar. The fire wasn't visible to the pilots, hidden above the cockpit ceiling, spreading silently and rapidly. The pilots were following standard procedures for an in-flight fire. They cut power to non-essential systems, including the entertainment system, hoping to starve the fire of fuel. But it was already too late. The fire had compromised critical flight systems. At 10:14 p.m., the flight recorder failed. A minute later, the transponder, which identifies the aircraft to air traffic control, went dead. The cockpit quickly filled with smoke. Instruments began to fail, one by one. The pilots were flying blind, struggling to maintain control in a rapidly deteriorating environment. Air traffic control lost contact with Flight 111 at 10:24 p.m. Just moments later, the aircraft impacted the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Peggy's Cove, Nova Scotia. There were no survivors. The recovery effort was immense and heartbreaking. Thousands of pieces of wreckage were retrieved from the ocean floor, painstakingly reconstructed in a hangar. It was like a giant, tragic jigsaw puzzle. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada led the investigation, one of the most complex in aviation history. They found that the fire had spread uncontrollably, fueled by the mylar insulation. The decision to cut power to non-essential systems, while standard procedure inadvertently cut power to ventilation fans, which might have helped clear smoke. It was a tragic irony. The fire's rapid spread, hidden from view, incapacitated the crew before they could execute an emergency landing. The unseen hand had rendered them helpless. Swissair 111 became a stark lesson in aviation safety. It led to sweeping changes in aircraft wiring standards, fire detection, and suppression systems. The mylar insulation was largely phased out. The memory of Flight 111 serves as a permanent reminder. Even the smallest, most hidden flaw can have catastrophic consequences, pushing the boundaries of human ingenuity and resilience. Subscribe for more in-depth investigations into aviation's most compelling mysteries.